Her message hit my phone at 4:07 a.m. Something came up. Relax, I'll explain soon. Soon. The word hung in the dark like a blade. I stared at the ceiling, letting the quiet press against my ribs. She hadn't come to bed. I'd heard the garage door earlier, a soft mechanical sigh, then nothing. No footsteps, no whispered apology for waking me. Only now, this. A text that felt rehearsed. My thumb hovered over the screen. I didn't ask questions. I didn't demand explanations. I typed one sentence. No need to explain. Stay with him. You're single now. And I hit send. The stillness afterward felt pure, like the air had finally told the truth. 20 minutes later, the doorbell exploded through the house. Frantic, repeated, almost animal. Through the frosted glass, her shadow trembled, shoulders shaking, hand pressed to the bell like she was trying to force her way back into a life already ending. I didn't move. I let her keep ringing. My pulse was steady, my thoughts a quiet winter storm. This wasn't shock, it wasn't grief. It was confirmation, something I had felt for weeks, the way you feel a hairline fracture before it splits open. Something cold crawling beneath the surface of our perfect routines. Her silhouette kept twisting, head down, then up, pacing in small circles, waiting for mercy. I had none left to give. Finally, I walked toward the door with the slow, deliberate calm of someone who already knows the ending and is simply turning the page to watch it unfold. The signs had been small at first, small enough for someone in love to ignore. The long showers with no steam, the sudden need to run errands alone, the way she hid her phone face down like it needed sleep. But it was her laughter that betrayed her. The soft, breathless kind she used to save for me. Hearing it seep through the bathroom door one night, muffled by tile, but too alive to be meant for me, that was the first crack. I remember staring at my reflection in the dark mirror, watching my expression flatten into something unrecognizable, something patient, something preparing. I didn't confront her. Confrontation gives the guilty room to lie. Instead, I let distance grow between us quietly, like frost creeping over glass. She noticed. Of course she noticed. She tried harder, cooking my favorite meals, leaning against my shoulder while pretending to watch TV. But guilt has a scent, and she carried it everywhere. The night before the 4 a.m. text, she said she was exhausted and went to bed early, except she didn't. I heard drawers opening, clothes moving, a zipper, then the soft click of the garage door. She didn't know I was awake. She didn't know I heard everything. And she didn't know that when she whispered goodnight earlier, I had already stopped believing a single word she said. I didn't spiral. I didn't rage. I analyzed. There are certain truths that don't require confrontation, only observation. First, I checked the phone records. I knew the second number before I even saw it. One contact with an obsessive frequency, short calls, long calls, late-night calls, always marked work, always erased later, except from the carrier logs she didn't know I had access to. Then I checked our shared calendar. Her gym visits had doubled. Her work hours had stretched thin. Her commutes had become traffic-heavy. I mapped the times. They made a pattern, his pattern. I didn't need names or photos. Human behavior tells its own story. Still, I collected more, quietly, coldly. I found the credit card charges, restaurants she never mentioned, a hotel a few towns over, a florist receipt with no flowers ever delivered to our house. Each piece fell into place with surgical precision. And through it all, I kept my routine untouched, made coffee the same way, kissed her cheek with the same practiced softness, acted as though nothing had shifted inside me. But inside, the storm grew organized. The night she left at 3:48 a.m., whispering something about a coworker emergency, I didn't follow her. I didn't need to. Some truths are bolder than surveillance. So when she texted me at 4:07 a.m. telling me something had come up, I felt nothing but a quiet, welcome ending. And I gave her the line that would break the facade completely. Stay with him, you're single now. I opened the door only when her knocks grew weak, when panic had softened into fear. She stood there in leggings and a hoodie I'd never seen, her hair messy, her eyes red, her hands shaking as though she had sprinted through her guilt. "I can explain," she whispered. I let the cold air answer her. She stepped inside without permission, her breathing shallow, her fingers reaching for me like I was a lifeline she suddenly remembered. I walked past her, silent, and placed the printed phone records on the table, all highlighted, all undeniable. Her gaze followed the papers, her face drained. "This isn't," she began, but I lifted one hand, stopping her words mid-birth. I didn't need her lies contaminating the room. The realization hit her in stages: recognition, dread, collapse. Her knees buckled slightly. A small cry escaped her, the kind someone makes when a version of them dies. "Please," she whispered, "please don't do this." But it wasn't me doing anything. This was her truth arriving right on schedule. She reached for me again. I stepped back. The space between us became a verdict. "I ended it," she said. "I swear. It was just closure." A pathetic word, a coward's word. I slid the divorce papers onto the table, prepared days ago, dated, signed by me alone. Her face crumpled. "You planned this?" she breathed. "Of course I did. Betrayal deserves precision." "I was going to tell you," she insisted, voice cracking. "You did," I said calmly. No shouting, no anger, nothing for her to manipulate. She tried a new angle, tears, apologies, reaching for memories as if they were shields. But her words were fog rolling off a dying fire. I let her speak until she realized I wasn't responding. Silence can be the sharpest blade. Finally, she whispered, "Don't leave me." I looked at her the way you look at something already gone. "I didn't leave," I said. "You did." She stayed on the floor long after I walked into the other room. Quiet, small, broken by her own choices. I felt nothing. Not relief, not victory, just a clean, cold clarity. The truth has weight only until it's exposed. Then it becomes air again. When I stepped back into the living room, she looked up, hope trembling in her eyes like a final plea. I walked past her, opened the front door, and held it. "Go," I said, not loudly, not cruelly, just final. She hesitated, searching my face for the man I used to be. She didn't find him. And as she stepped into the early morning darkness, I realized the quiet inside me wasn't emptiness. It was peace. I closed the door softly, and this time it stayed closed.